Morning children, welcome to science class. So in science we are completed with block 17, isn't it children? So today we will start with block 18, which is friction. Okay, so in this we are going to learn what do you mean by friction and all. Okay, mostly we will be focusing on friction. Okay children, so in this our first topic is types of forces. So, in the previous block, block 17, you have learned that force is nothing but push or pull of an object is nothing but force, isn't it, children? And this force can change the state of position of an object. That is, if it is in stationary, you can make it in a moving object. If it is moving, you can make it into a stationary object. That is non-moving object, isn't it? And also, we have learned that using force, you can change the direction of an moving object, isn't it children? It can be, you can move it with faster with that force, or you can move it slower also with the help of the applied force. If the force is more, the object moves faster. If the force is less, the object moves slower. That we have learned in the previous block. Now, in this block, we are going to learn the different types of force. Okay, the forces are mainly divided into two types. Okay, children, contact force and non contact force. Okay, so first, if you see non contact force, it's nothing but the force which act when the objects are far from each other, which not in contact. Okay, which are not touching each other. Okay, if the objects are not touching each other and then also there is some force between those objects, is nothing but non contact force. Okay, examples are magnetic force, electrostatic force and gravity. Okay, if you see magnetic force, you know magnets children, yes, and this magnet, it pulls the iron things towards it isn't it children? So if there is an iron thing like nail, it is there near it. I'm not telling it is touching. Even though it is near, it attracts the nail, moves towards the magnet, isn't it? So that force in which the magnet exerts some force, even though object is little away from it, then that is called magnetic force. Okay, now next you have electrostatic force. So electrostatic force you can observe when you rub your comb to your hair, through your hair, and you place it near the papers, pieces of papers, then this oil which is rubbed onto your hair, the comb which is rubbed against your hair, will be exerting some force so that that papers will come and stick to that comb. Okay, so this is called electrostatic force. Okay, now coming to gravitational force. Gravitational force is nothing but the force which exerts by the earth. Okay, so if you throw a ball towards up, even though it comes and falls on the ground, it comes back, isn't it? It might be anything. If you throw anything into the air in the upward direction towards the sky, then also it comes down and falls onto the ground, isn't it? That's because that earth is also pulls the object like a magnet. Earth also acts like a magnet which pulls the all types of things towards itself. Okay, it might be anything, it might be plastic, iron, anything. Even you also, if you jump also, you'll come back and step on the ground. That's because the earth is for exerting force. Okay, the earth is pulling the things towards itself. So this is called gravitational force, where the earth exerts force on anything. Okay, that is gravitation. These are some examples of non-contact forces. Okay children, next you have contact forces. So name itself is telling the force which is applied when two objects are in contact, when they are touching each other. Okay, so those types of forces are called contact forces. Okay, example here are muscular force, friction. So muscular force, when you pick up your book, when you pick up something, when you're holding something, you're using your muscle force, isn't it children? You are using your muscular energy to hold it or to pick it up, isn't it, children? So that is nothing but your muscular force. Now, coming to friction. So this is our block about, which is one of the contact force, friction. So, this friction can be explained as the force exerted when two surfaces are in contact with each other, and the force acts in the direction opposite to the direction of motion of an object. Okay, if the object is moving, is like pulling yourself. So if you are pulling an object to yourself, then this frictional force will be acting opposite to it. If you're pushing away from, if you're pushing the object away from you, then this frictional force will be acting towards us. So in that way, the force is opposite in direction to the motion of the object. Okay, children, so that is friction. Okay, so you can explain it as the force that acts in a direction opposite to the direction of motion of the object. Okay, so this is our topic for today, children. So please open your content book, science content book, and turn to page number 112. 112, 12, 112. Okay, so you can see the types of forces here, non contact forces and contact forces. Beside that, you have some examples also. If you see the first picture, it is a crane which is pulling out all the junk, the iron things from the junk. It's only because it will be a magnet which is inserted into the junk, and all the iron things will be attached to that magnet, and that is cleared with the iron things. Okay, next, in the next picture, you can see the muscular force where the girl is holding the books, isn't it? She's lifting the books, where she's using the force of her muscles. Okay, muscular energy she is using so that she can hold those books in her arms. Okay, next, if you see in page number 113, you can see the example. See, the man is pushing the block box up, but the frictional force is acting opposite, isn't it, children? Especially, see, force of friction acts in the direction opposite to the motion of an object. Okay, because of that, the different direction of the friction force, that is called friction. Okay, children, so please read all these non-contact forces: magnetic force, gravitational, electrostatic force, gravitational force. In contact force, again muscular force and friction, and underline the keywords which I have given in the daily schedule. Okay, and also write these keywords in your classwork, and please learn it, children. Okay, now coming to your question answers. What is the difference between the contact and non-contact forces? So if you see, the children, the contact forces are the forces which exerted when two objects, when the surfaces of two objects are in contact. Okay, example, we have learned about friction and muscular force, isn't it, children? And the forces which exert when the objects are not touching each other from a distance, then those are called non-contact force. Example, you can write electrostatic force, gravitational force, magnetic force. In that, you can write any two. Okay, so write this answer in your classwork, and please learn it, children. Coming to your next question, define friction. See, this definition is very, very important, children, as we have learned the definition of force, motion and work, isn't it? In the same way, friction definition is also very important. So please learn it, write it and learn it, write it in your classwork and learn it. Okay, friction is defined as the force exerted when two surfaces rub against each other. That means they are in contact with each other. It acts in the opposite direction to the motion of the object. Okay, when two surfaces are in contact, and this force acts opposite direction to the motion of the object, that you have to learn and understand also. Okay, so write these two answers in your classwork, and please learn it, children. Coming to your homework, complete the volume book. Volume book 3, page number 10, S1, types of forces. So here, children, in volume S1, some may have types of forces, and some may have friction, a contact force. So the heading, the name of that skill sheet is may be different, but the content is same. Okay, so don't get confused because the name of the volume book I have given different. Okay, it might be types of forces or friction, a contact force. Okay, both are same. If you have any other questions other than the skill sheet which I have sent, other than the volume book which I have sent you, please send a picture so that I can answer those questions. Okay children, so in the next class we will learn about the friction depends on the types of force, which is our second topic. Okay, so see you in the next class children. Bye.